Hi, welcome to English Hamster. Are you learning English? Great. Here we learn through stories. They are simple and interesting. You can improve English while learning knowledge. Remember to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Hello, dear friends. Let me ask you something. Do you find it easier to love others than yourself? Do you encourage your friends but criticize yourself? If you do, you're not alone. Many of us know how to support others but have never learned how to support ourselves. Today, we're going to talk about learning to love yourself gently, honestly, and deeply. Maybe you'll even learn to love yourself more than anyone else does. The truth is, you are with yourself every single moment. Your thoughts, feelings, mistakes, and growth are all part of you. So, isn't it important to become someone you feel safe with? While we talk about this, you're also practicing real English. You're hearing emotions, rhythm, and real connection. Just by listening, you're doing more than you think. Before we start, if this space helps you grow, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're here, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is. I would love to know. This is a quiet global circle and you belong here. Now, let's begin. What is self-love? Self-love sounds simple, right? But sometimes it feels very difficult. Why is that? Because we live in a world that teaches us to find love outside ourselves. We look for approval from others, seek attention, or wait for our achievements to make us feel loved. We're told we'll be lovable when we're prettier, when we're more successful, or when we fix all our flaws. So we chase after people, perfection, and a version of ourselves that we think will finally be enough. But that's not love, that's performance. And performance can never replace real connection. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt disappointed? Have you ever said to yourself, "I'm not good enough"? When you feel that way, take a moment to stop. Ask yourself, where did that voice come from? Maybe it came from a parent who was too hard on you. Maybe from school or a past relationship. Or maybe it came from years of thinking that love means always trying to be better. But here's something important for you to understand. You were never meant to earn your own love. Your love was always meant to be there for you, like the sky above or the ground beneath your feet. It's yours, always, unchanging, and unconditional. Why is it hard to love ourselves? So why does self-love feel so hard? The reason is simple. We've forgotten how to be with ourselves when we're not performing. We only feel worthy when we're useful, when we're liked, or when we're helpful. But who are you when you're alone? When no one is watching? Can you still see something beautiful in yourself? You don't need to love every part of yourself right now. You don't have to feel confident or joyful all the time. But maybe you can start by being gentle. Talk to yourself as you would talk to someone you care about. Treat your mistakes as if they belonged to a friend. Slowly, this kindness becomes love. You might just need someone to remind you, self-love isn't selfish. It's essential for survival. It helps you build healthy relationships and teaches the world how to treat you. You're not behind in this journey. You're not failing. You're simply learning to return to yourself after years of looking elsewhere. And that's a beautiful beginning. You are not perfect, but that's okay. Have you ever told yourself, "I'll feel better once I fix everything. I'll finally be lovable when I stop making mistakes"? Or maybe you think, "If I could just be perfect, then I deserve happiness." If you've thought these things, you're not strange or weak. You're simply human. Many of us grow up believing that we must be perfect to be loved. This idea can make us feel like we are not enough unless we are perfect in every way. But here's something gentle I want you to remember. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real. Being perfect all the time is impossible. We all have moments when things don't go as planned. Sometimes we forget things, say the wrong words, or fall behind. We might feel like we're not good enough, but these moments don't take away our worth. We are still worthy of love, even on our messy days. Let me share a story about someone you might know, Emma Watson. She is most famous for playing Hermione in the Harry Potter movies. She became famous when she was just a child. For years, Emma struggled with perfectionism. She always felt she had to get everything right. She wanted to be the perfect student, the perfect actress, the perfect role model. But inside, she felt anxious, tired, and afraid to make mistakes. Even small mistakes made her feel like a failure. But as Emma grew older, she started to change the way she thought about herself. She realized that being perfect was not the most important thing. She began to talk about self-compassion, which means being kind to yourself. She understood that real strength is not about being perfect all the time. It's about being honest, being present, and being kind to yourself, even when you make mistakes. She once said, "I've had to learn how to be okay with myself. Not when I've done everything right, but just as I am." This is a powerful thought, don't you think? If even someone like Emma, smart, beautiful, and successful, has struggled with feeling enough, maybe the pressure to be perfect is something many of us feel deep inside. The idea that we have to be perfect to be loved is common, but it's also a lie we tell ourselves. Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect. So when you make a mistake, what do you say to yourself? Do you call yourself names? Do you feel disappointed in yourself? Do you hide from others when you're not at your best? Maybe you just needed to hear this today. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You don't need to fix yourself to deserve love, rest, or joy. Real love includes your flaws. It makes space for your awkward moments. It sees your effort, not just the result. Think about the people you care about most. Do you love them because they are perfect all the time? Of course not. You love them for who they are, for their kindness, their stories, and their humanity. You deserve to love yourself the same way. You don't need to be perfect to be loved, and neither do they. Be kind to yourself. So, the next time you're hard on yourself, stop for a moment and say, "I'm allowed to be a work in progress. I'm allowed to grow and still deserve care. I'm allowed to not be okay and still be lovable." It's easy to forget this when we make mistakes or don't meet our own expectations. But remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to always feel strong. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just need to keep coming back to yourself with kindness, because you are not a problem to fix. You are a person to love. Sometimes we can be the harshest with ourselves. We often say things to ourselves that we would never say to a friend. Imagine you have a friend who is feeling down or tired. Would you tell her, "You're useless, you always mess up"? No, of course not. You'd probably say, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. You're doing your best and that's enough." You would comfort her, stay with her, and remind her that it's okay to have tough moments. But when it comes to ourselves, we often forget to be kind. We can be quick to call ourselves names or feel like we're failures when things don't go right. We might even think that we don't deserve to rest or enjoy ourselves because we didn't meet our goals. Here's the truth. If you can be kind to others, you can be kind to yourself too. The way you talk to yourself shapes how you feel inside. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you'll start to believe it. But if you remind yourself that you're doing your best and that you deserve love and understanding, your emotional environment will become much kinder. Let's practice this together. When you catch yourself being harsh, maybe you say, "Why are you being so lazy today?" Pause, take a deep breath and try again. Say something like, I feel tired today, and that's okay, but I am still choosing to do one small thing that matters. Over time, this small change will help you be gentler with yourself. Start with simple phrases. Even if they feel strange at first, say them anyway. Try saying, "I'm doing the best I can. I don't need to be perfect to be loved. My effort is enough today, and I'm still learning, and that's beautiful." These small phrases aren't just nice words. They are like anchors. They help you stay grounded and remind you that it's okay to not have everything figured out. They help you stay calm, even when things don't go as planned. When you say these positive things to yourself, you slowly build a habit of kindness. And as you practice it more, you start to feel better about yourself. Little by little, your inner voice changes from being critical to being supportive. Self-love is not weakness. Maybe you just needed someone to remind you. It's not weakness to be gentle with yourself. It's wisdom. It's strength. Kindness isn't just something we give to others. It's something we owe ourselves, especially in the quiet moments when no one else is there to offer it. The more you practice this, the more you build a relationship with yourself that feels safe and kind. And that kind of self-relationship changes everything. You stop chasing love. You stop fearing failure. You stop abandoning yourself when things get hard. Instead, you stay with patience, grace, and love. Little by little, your inner voice becomes your inner friend. So tonight, tomorrow morning, or the next time you feel frustrated with yourself, pause and choose kindness. Because no matter what anyone else says, you are worthy of soft words, especially from yourself. What self-love really means. Sometimes when we talk about self-love, people misunderstand it. They think it means shutting everyone out, doing everything alone, never needing help, never needing closeness. It's almost like saying, if I love myself, I don't need anyone else. But that's not what real self-love is. Real self-love doesn't push people away. It teaches you how to stay connected without losing yourself. You can love yourself and still want company. You can be confident and still feel lonely sometimes. You can be strong and still need support. Loving yourself is not about isolation. It's about creating a healthy relationship with yourself so you stop chasing people who can't meet you where you are. It's knowing this. I enjoy being with you, but I don't need you to prove that I matter. Let me share something from my own life. There was a time when I kept choosing people who made me feel like I had to earn their attention. I would shrink myself, hide my feelings, or stay quiet just to keep the peace. Deep down, I was afraid of being alone. Even deeper, I didn't fully believe I deserved more. But as I practiced being kind to myself, something shifted. I stopped needing to be liked by everyone. I stopped over-explaining my feelings. I stopped chasing people who weren't emotionally present. Slowly, I began to build friendships and love that felt safer, calmer, and more real. Because when you love yourself, you stop settling for connections that feel one-sided. You stop needing to be saved because you've already started showing up for yourself. That's the kind of love that lasts. The balance between independence and connection. Maybe you've been through something that made you believe you have to choose between depending on yourself completely or losing yourself in someone else. But there's a beautiful middle ground, a space where you know how to be alone without feeling lonely, and you know how to be with someone without forgetting who you are. You don't have to prove anything to be worthy of closeness. You don't have to hide your needs. You don't have to be low maintenance to be loved. The more you honor yourself, your feelings, your voice, and your boundaries, the more your relationships reflect that too. Self-love gives you the ability to say, I deserve to be treated with care by others and by myself. It allows you to ask for help when you need it and also enjoy your own company and peace. It makes you braver in love, softer in friendship, and stronger when you're alone because you're not waiting to be completed. You're choosing to grow in connection with others without leaving yourself behind. The truth about you, so, if you're learning to love yourself right now and wondering if that means letting go of people you care about, know this. You can love yourself deeply and still love others fully. You just don't have to abandon yourself in the process anymore. Take a moment to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and feel this truth in your heart. You are already worthy of love. Not when you fix yourself. Not when you become more successful, more fluent, or more confident. Right now, as you are. It might feel hard to believe, especially since we've been taught to tie our worth to something, achievement, beauty, usefulness, kindness, or control. But you are not a project. You are a person. You are not here to prove anything. You are here to be. Loving yourself doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop punishing yourself while you grow. It means you stop waiting for others to validate your existence. It means you can wake up and say, I may not feel my best today, but I still deserve gentleness. I made a mistake, but I still deserve understanding. I'm not where I want to be, but I still deserve love. And here's something beautiful. When you begin treating yourself with love, your world starts to shift. You begin saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. You start walking away from places where you felt small and moving toward spaces where you feel whole. That's not arrogance. That's not selfishness. That's self-respect. And self-respect is the root of every healthy, lasting, loving thing you will ever build. If you're doubting yourself, feeling lost, or unsure, come back to this truth. You don't have to do anything to earn love, especially not your own. You already carry something soft, steady, and powerful within you, and it's enough. You are enough. You don't need anyone to tell you this. You just need to believe it for yourself. Every time you remind yourself of this truth, you take one more step toward freedom. One more step toward peace. One more step toward a life that feels like home. Take one last breath with me. Softly inhale and then slowly exhale. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for investing in yourself and taking the first step toward love, not just from others, but from yourself. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to grow in your own way. If this episode brought you comfort, give yourself credit. You listened, you opened up, and you chose to heal. And that's not small. If you want to, share in the comments, what is one thing you'll say to yourself today with kindness? I'm always here for you, and remember, you are already more lovable than you've ever been told.
Hey, if you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and it really helps to create more English videos for you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.